super quick. Hi, everybody. Well, I'm so excited to be having the pleasure of interviewing Kelly and hearing all about 75 Hard. I must admit, for me, when I first heard about it, I didn't want to use the word hard because I have a bit of a thing about it. But Kelly's going to explain to us really why that's so important, and that, you know, it gives us all the opportunity to take on a new challenge. So I've definitely changed the way I look at it. So yeah, you've just been an absolute inspiration on this. And as everybody who can see behind me, if I move out the way, you'll see the only easy day was yesterday. So I gather that it's a pretty challenging challenge. So let's hear all about it. So the first thing is, what is it? 75 Hard. Some people may have heard of it. Some people have no idea what we're talking about. So tell us what it is.
So the 75 Hard Challenge, it's a free challenge, and it was designed by a guy called Andy Frisella in the States. And he's been involved in personal coaching and development for 20 years or something. So it's not something that he's just put together quickly. So if you listen to the podcast about it, he explains why every concept is part of it. But it's just a way of being accountable to yourself and improving yourself every day, just taking little steps every day to improve yourself and grow and learn. Like I had no idea when I started it that I was going to grow in so many areas of my life that I did. I finished my first one November 20, so it's been a month now, but just still riding the wave. And I'm so excited that we're starting another one up with you too.
Wow, that's awesome. And you know, you were already a pretty fit person. You've really been looking after your health and your body for a number of years now, yet it still made a real difference for you to step up. Yes.
Yeah, totally. Like when you talk about that hard, as you said, you know, you don't like things to be hard, but there are challenges to it that, you know, and you need to get over that. And when you do get over it, that's just so amazing. You feel so great getting over those things, these hurdles. And I thought I was a pretty disciplined, determined person, but this proved to me that I still had room to grow. And I love that. And that's why I want to do it again, because then I can grow even more, you know, just having to have, there's 5 things you need to complete every day, and you have to complete them every day. So what I did is I printed off a checklist and had it on the edge of my bedroom door as I came inside my bedroom. So as I go to bed, last thing, I would make sure that everything was done, because there was a few nights I didn't do that. And I was lying in bed and I was just about to sleep. I didn't read, or I didn't take my photo, or one of the concepts. I'm like, oh my goodness. So
you actually completed it in the exact 75 days. You didn't.
I did do it. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
I came so close a couple of times, but I got through and did it. But so the 5 components, there's 5 main components.
Yeah, let's hear what they are. Yep.
So follow an eating plan. So obviously with me being involved in Isagenix and loving the products, I followed Isagenix. I did basically the 30-day program for the whole 75 days because I had put on COVID kilos. So it's not a physical challenge, but if you choose to incorporate it with Isagenix, you can also drop weight or get better performance or whatever it is that you're looking for with ISA as well. You don't have to use ISA, but I chose personally to use ISA. Yep. So following an eating plan, that also includes no cheat meals and no alcohol for the whole 75 days. You need to drink 4 litres of water, which people would probably fall off their chairs now listening to that. But that's the reason for that. There's so many different reasons where a lot of us are dehydrated. It's so good for our body, for our brain health, for our sleep, and also for those women, you know, around sort of middle age that are retaining fluid. It helps flush out that excess fluid. So what I did as a little tip with the 4 litres is I staggered it throughout the day. So I didn't leave it till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and go, oh my God, I've still got 3 litres to go. So I'd have to drink a certain amount by a certain hour. And that was how I found to drink it all.
Yeah.
Then you need to exercise twice a day for 45 minutes. So one of those must be outside, and there's reasons for that. And that is part of the challenge, part of the mindset challenge. If it's boiling hot out there, if it's pouring, raining out there, if it's windy, if it's whatever, bad luck. That's part of the challenge. You get out there. I got saturated a couple of times when I was out there, and it was just like, oh, well, have a shower and get on with it, because that's how we make excuses, not just for our exercise, but then that flows on to the rest of our life. When something's hard, we just go, oh no, it's too hard, I can't do it. Whereas that it makes you push through, because you have to get outside for one of those walks or exercise. Doesn't have to be a walk. It doesn't have to be intense exercise, so don't let it put you off for those that don't want to exercise hard. It can be walks, it can be yoga, stretching, as long as you commit to doing 2 lots of 45 minutes of exercise.
Yep.
So
and a lot outside.
one outside, one can, well, both can be outside if you want, but at least one must be outside. I found when I did my cleansing days that I did lesser intensity. So I'd have, say, a walk and then some yoga or some stretching as my second one, so that I just tamed it back a little bit on my cleanse days, but that's how I choose to do it with cleanse days. Then you need to read 10 pages of a book. It is suggested that it's like a self-improvement, self-help, self-coaching kind of book. Can't be an audio book. It must be, you must physically read the book.
Can it be on a device, or does it have to be paper book?
No, real book. Yep.
Book. Yep.
Paper
And
book.
how many books did you get through?
3 books.
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing. And then I learned and grew with those as well, because of the type of book that you're reading. Like one of them was Tony Robbins, so I got so much out of that. I did an Eric Worre one, which was, learning how to improve my business skills. So that was really awesome. And then I did a spiritual one, because I'm into spiritual healing and health. So I did one of those as well. So
and did you
that's totally up to you.
Did you read them one after the other, or did you intermingle?
I did read them one after the other. Yeah.
So that's the 3 things.
So we've got the follow the eating plan, the water, the reading, the exercise, and the last one is you must take a progress pic every day. Now, while it's not a physical challenge and you don't need to see results physically, that was probably the hardest part for me, because I don't like having my photo taken. I don't like looking at myself in my photo. So making myself do that every day, look at myself as I took my photo, was quite a challenging thing for me. And I noticed about halfway through the challenge that I would just take it and not actually look at myself. So then I challenged myself for the rest of it. It's like, not actually be present and see yourself in that, because that's the whole purpose of taking that photo.
Wow. And have you looked at the whole range of photos together?
Yeah. And well, yes, I have. And it just changed so much. My face, my mood, it just lightened up as the time goes on. I actually had an extra challenge with mine as well, because my first walk on the morning of day 1, I fell, and I've never fallen, and I totally defaced my face. Face planted totally. So my photos for the first few days were pretty revolting. But it was like, I'm not going to do this challenge now. This is what happens when you get up before work and you go for a walk and I fall, and it's like, now I'm just not going to do this challenge. And I'm like, no, let's do it. So all sorts of things are going to come up. You're going to get, maybe you'll get an illness or an injury or something like that, but it's just a case of pushing on and pushing through, and you'll find that you can push through challenges the more you go through it, that the things don't seem as major as what they did before.
You are just glowing with the whole impact that it's had on you. And so, it makes me think, who do you think should really do this? So for people who are watching this and thinking, shall I, shan't I? And they're sitting on the fence, who should do this?
I think especially people that have trouble sticking to a plan, if they say that they don't have that ability. This is so regimented, you just do it. There's steps and you do it. And then next day you do the steps as well. And if you can do that for the 75 days, then amazing. What else could you do in your life that you think you couldn't do? But even the thing is, though, the one thing I didn't mention about the challenge, if you do fail and you don't do one of those things, you go back to day 1. So you start again. And that's not a fail, it's a learning process. One of my friends that did it, he failed 2 or 3 times, but he started again the next day and he went again. So he just kept doing it. And he said he actually learned more on those times when he failed than if he'd cruised through in his mind.
Yeah.
Because you understand what extra you need to do to be accountable to yourself.
And how long did it actually take him to do it? Do you know?
120 days, I think it was. Yeah.
Oh,
And so he still exercised twice a day for 120 days. He still did the majority of the components that whole time.
That's fantastic.
So what a breakthrough when he just did it last week, the week before, just before Christmas. And he can't believe it. And he's going again.
I am super excited. I know that there will be people that really thinking, where are they going to get support? And within this group, we're going to have support for people who absolutely 100% commit to give it a go. We will have a thread where we'll add you in and you can get that feedback. But particularly for you, what support do you think you guys who've already done this can give?
Well, there's 3 of us that are going to do it again that have done it before. So I think where we found it more of a challenge, we can share that with the group. And like I said, having that checklist on my bedroom door was just essential so that you didn't forget. Staggering your water, all those little tips that we've learnt, we can share with the group and make it easier for you.
Yeah. Oh, that's so awesome.
There is also the podcast I mentioned that Andy Frisella's got the podcast, which you listen to, which is amazing. And that's great motivation and support to get you going as well.
I really recommend that everybody listens to that. We'll put a warning on the language, because for some people it will be language that you've probably never experienced to the extent that it is throughout that podcast. However, it really impacted me. I can remember exactly where I was. I was on a run in New Zealand and I was listening to it, and I messaged Kelly straight afterwards and went, I have to do this. Because it answers all the questions that we could answer for you, but they're much better that you answer them yourself listening to that podcast. So we'll definitely put the link to that in.
Yeah. Like, for example, why do you have to exercise one outside? Why can't you just do 2 gym workouts in a day? He talks about things like that, because one of my friends said that to me. She said, why do I have to go outside? I'll just go to gym twice. And it's like, no, because there's reasons for everything. And it's reasons for your growth, reasons for your motivation, your determination, being able to stick to the plan. But I've just found that my life has changed so much, not just physically, but just I've got things done, things that have been waiting for years, I've been able to achieve in the last month. I can't even begin to explain how much my life has changed in the past month. Things, old stuff that needed to be cleared out has been cleared out, new stuff's coming in. It's just blown my mind.
I get so excited listening to you. And for those of you who do decide to give this a go, then know that you're going to have Kelly there as someone who will answer your questions and those kind of things. So I am super excited. So let's just finally finish up with when are we going to start? When are we going to kick this off?
So we've chosen January 11. So that's still a couple of weeks away. So you've got plenty of time to have a chat and find out more about it. Yep. But you can start anytime after that. Just make the decision that you are going to start. One of our other girls who's just finished it, she's starting again on February 1st. So you can start it at any time, but just make the commitment. Yes, you're going to do it. Find the date that works for you and get to work. But don't put it off. When I say, there's never going to be a right time, just start doing it, because it just flows with your life. It's just, I thought 75 days was going to take forever, and it just flew past.
Yeah. I can't wait. January 11th is a great day for me to start, because a month later is my wedding anniversary, and it doesn't worry me. We've done that before. We've done Fed Fast and not had a drink, but still had time together. And it's not about eating and drinking. It's about just celebrating each other. So yeah. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up. So I really wanted to keep this to 15 minutes, which is about what we've done. So I would just like to give you a massive congratulations, not only for completing it, but for being prepared, Kelly, to get out there and share this with other people and help others. And I've watched the following that you've got already of people who've gone, God, if you can do it, I can do it. So I am just beyond excited. And pop your questions in the thread underneath this. Know that you can reach out to either one of us, and you're going to hear from the others over the next coming days as well. So take care.
Awesome. It's so exciting.
#75hard.
Let's do it.
Bye.
See ya.